the parents all line up at your desk. And parents would sit down at my desk and say, I don't know what happened to my son. You know, Joe, he used to be such a nice kid, and he's in grade 9 now, and he's doing all this stuff, and, you know, and what advice do you have to give me? And I'd look at them, and I was like 24, and I didn't have kids, and I'm supposed to give you advice about your child, but people will see you as an expert because you're a teacher. And you won't always know the answers, you know, the answer on that one is 95% of kids will go through a difficult time and get over it, so just relax and it'll be okay, right? So, you know, I learned the answer to that question pretty quickly in my years of teaching in secondary school. But we feel very strongly about developing the expertise of our members, setting teachers out there as the people who know, you know, not know all the answers, but who are willing to be trained and engaged and develop professionally and share that experience with others. Because teaching is fundamentally a collegial activity. In order to have a good school and to really do our best for kids in a school, we all need to be working on the same team and moving in the same direction. And so training teachers, sending teachers out to teach other teachers is part of our professional responsibility to share our knowledge with each other. And that's a very strong culture within the teaching profession, and one that we can never lose. You know, we engage and are engaged right now in the debate about copyright, which is, with new media, a new issue for us. People produce materials, and who owns those materials? And I think one of the debates and discussions we need to have in that whole area is we can never lose our willingness to share our stuff with others. That is a very, very strong piece of being a teacher and working together collegially in a school, and also a piece of that teacher teaching teachers model that we have. And you'll get to experience that firsthand today in your workshops. I want to leave some time for questions, so I don't want to go on for too long, but I do want to talk to you just a tiny bit about all of the work that we do. We have 41,000 members, as Mo said, 69 locals, a local in every area of the Federation, and Kip will be here this afternoon to talk to you about Nanaimo. Those locals range in size from about 25 members in Stikine, which is probably the largest geographic local we have with the smallest number of members. It's probably 25 to 30 in Central Coast as well, so we have some very small locals, compared to 4,000 in Surrey. That's the membership of the Surrey Teachers Association. And so we have a very diverse group of locals, but we have very strong locals. And so in the Federation, we have managed to have a model where we have both strong locals and a strong provincial organization. And again, a kind of expensive model, but one that has worked very well for us. And so when we organize a campaign, and we always have a campaign in the Federation, we usually have more than one, it is our locals that really do the legwork for that. Local presidents, staff reps, school union reps in schools organize that campaign for us. And we have, I have to tell you, I don't want to brag about it, but we just have an amazing ability to organize in the Federation. I have been so impressed by that. I'm not a real organizer myself, but boy, the Federation, when we take on a campaign, we withheld our college fees a few years ago, maybe 2003 or 4, when the government took away our majority on the College of Teachers, and we had a fee boycott of the college. And that was an amazing campaign and really relied on that legwork of local presidents and staff reps. But I was chatting with some teachers from Ontario, where there are 4 unions in Ontario, 4 teacher unions, and they said to me, I don't know how you organized that college boycott, fee boycott. We could never have done that in Ontario. We just wouldn't have got our members to agree to that. And it really brought home to me that comment, the fact that it is a tremendous advantage for us to have one union. And secondly, we have that ability to organize, which also, I have to tell you, is founded in that principle of engaging your members and keeping them in touch with what the organization is doing, because that is a key to getting people on board when we try to organize a big campaign.
So as Mo said, we work in a whole variety of areas: professional development, professional issues. The largest one we're dealing with now is the issue of standardized testing and our opposition to the overuse and misuse of standardized tests in this province. We have a legal area which provides support to teachers. We do collective bargaining. We have a very, very active social justice committee and social justice program, which works in a variety of areas and is very important work that we have all supported and engaged in for a long time, and a great group of activists who work hard on those issues. We do have about depending on what the markets are doing today, $18 billion pension plan that one day you will reap the benefits of. So I advise you to pay attention to that. We have some difficult decisions to make in that pension plan because the inflation adjustment account is not really enough at the moment to sustain full indexing into the future. And so we are engaged this fall, and if you're in Practica in the province, are you in Practicums this year? You may see that pension discussion happening around the province, and that's an important discussion to engage in. I mean, we have to decide whether we're all going to contribute more money to sustain indexing or settle for less than full indexing into the future. And so that's a really important debate and discussion. We're traveling all over the province to have that debate. We have an income security program for people who run out of sick leave. So once you become a teacher in this province on a continuing contract, the Federation will look after you if you get ill until you're old enough to retire. And so that's a very important piece of our commitment to looking after each other, which we do and which we contribute our salary to that plan. We run it completely. The government compensates us for it by giving us an extra 2% on our salary. So we have bargained that compensation from the government for a plan that we run ourselves. We do some very wonderful international work, working in South Africa, Namibia, and Mozambique, the three countries that were under apartheid. We work very closely with those teacher unions, and I had the privilege of going to Namibia this summer to see some of that work. And I have to tell you, it was absolutely inspiring. And we have very strong relationships with Central and Latin American unions, where we do lots of work helping those unions stay strong and take on very many significant issues and struggles that they take on. We engage in a lot of work in the Federation, and I hope that over your years as a teacher you will become involved in that in some way. We have an active finance committee and an income security committee and a social justice committee, a professional issues committee, a teachers teaching on call committee, a working and learning conditions committee. And so all of those committees are ways that our members become engaged with the work of the Federation and give advice to the executive committee. Once a year we have an annual general meeting where 660 teachers come together to make decisions, the most important decisions on behalf of the Federation. And that is an amazing, kind of crazy event. And you should try and go at least once in your career. And some of you will go early on and become drawn in as activists and remain activists all your life. So that's a great thing to do. And it is one of the, well, first of all, it's an immersion course in Robert's Rules of Order. If you ever wanted that, the AGM is a way to get it. But it is also a wonderful demonstration of our commitment to democratic decision making. We are kind of obsessively and meticulously dedicated to making decisions democratically in the BCTF, and the AGM is our best example of that, I think.